the early years of the 20th century, Germany was a country full of noise and motion. Trains crossed cities, factories smoked, new machines promised a new future. In this restless world, the story of BMW began, not with cars, but with engines that were meant to fly. The year was 1916. Europe was deep in World War I. Airplanes were still new and dangerous machines, but they were becoming very important for war. Germany needed powerful, reliable aircraft engines. In the city of Munich, a small company was working on exactly that. This company was founded by an engineer named Karl Rapp. His business was called Rapp Motor and Werke. Rapp believed that strong engines could change aviation. His factory built engines for military aircraft, and although the work was difficult, it was important. In the same year, another aircraft company nearby, Bayerische Flugzeugwerke, was also working on airplane production. These two companies would soon become part of the same story. In 1917, Rapp Motor and Werke was reorganized and renamed. The new name was Bayerische Motor and Werke, Bavarian Motor Works, short and strong, BMW. This was the official birth of BMW. Around this time, BMW created its famous logo. Many people believe the logo shows a spinning airplane propeller against a blue sky. This idea came later, but it fit the company's roots perfectly. The truth is simpler. The logo used the blue and white colors of Bavaria, the region where BMW was born. These colors were placed in a circle, inspired by earlier company logos. Over time, as BMW talked more about its aviation past, the propeller story became popular, and it stayed. Either way, the logo told a clear message. BMW was about movement, precision, and engineering. BMW quickly became known for high-quality aircraft engines. One of its engines could fly higher than others, which was very important during the war. The company grew fast. Workers filled the factories. Orders came in regularly. But this success did not last. In 1918, World War I ended. Germany lost the war. Soon after, the Treaty of Versailles was signed. One of its rules was clear and harsh. German companies were no longer allowed to produce aircraft engines. For BMW, this was a disaster. The company's main product was suddenly illegal. The machines, tools, and skills they had built were no longer useful in the same way. Many workers lost their jobs. The future of BMW was uncertain. The young company stood at the edge of failure. BMW did not give up. If they could not build engines for airplanes, they would build engines for something else. The engineers looked around and chose motorcycles. In 1923, BMW introduced its first motorcycle, the BMW R32. This motorcycle was different. It had a flat twin boxer engine with two cylinders sticking out to the sides. This design helped with cooling and balance. The engine was strong, smooth, and reliable. People noticed. The R32 quickly gained a good reputation. It was well built and easy to ride. Soon, BMW motorcycles were winning races and breaking records. This success saved the company. Motorcycles became BMW's main product during the 1920s. BMW was no longer an aircraft engine company. It was becoming a motor company. The dream of cars. Even with motorcycle success, BMW's leaders wanted more. Cars were becoming popular across Europe. People wanted personal transportation. Roads were improving. The future was clearly moving on four wheels. BMW wanted to be part of that future. But building cars from nothing was expensive and risky, so BMW chose a smarter path. In 1928, BMW bought a car factory in Eisenach, a city in eastern Germany. This factory already produced a small car under license from a British company. The car was called the Austin 7. In Germany, it was known as the Dixie. With this purchase, BMW officially entered the car business. The first BMW car. In 1929, BMW launched its first car, the BMW Dixie 315. This car was small and simple. It did not look powerful or luxurious. but it was affordable, reliable, and efficient, exactly what people needed at the time. Germany was facing economic problems. Money was tight. A small, low-cost car made sense. The Dixie sold well. For BMW, this was a major moment. The company was now building motorcycles and cars. It had survived war, political change, and near collapse. But BMW was still searching for its identity. During the late 1920s and early 1930s, BMW experimented. They improved the Dixie. They tried new designs. They built larger and more comfortable cars. Engineers learned fast, sometimes by making mistakes. These early BMW cars were not yet sporty or luxurious. They were practical. BMW was still a young car maker, learning how to compete with older, stronger companies. Then, in 1929, the world economy crashed. The Great Depression. The Great Depression hit Germany hard. Businesses closed. Unemployment rose. Car sales dropped sharply. Once again, BMW faced serious danger. The company survived by staying flexible. Motorcycles helped. Small cars helped. BMW did not stop producing. It adapted. By the early 1930s, the worst years slowly began to pass. In 1932, BMW introduced a new car that changed everything. This car was the BMW 320. It was the first BMW car fully designed by BMW, not based on another company's model. It was still small, but it was more refined. It drove better. It felt more engineered. With this car, BMW began to move away from simple transportation and toward driving pleasure. Quietly, almost without announcing it, BMW started forming the idea that would define its future. Cars should not only move people, they should feel good to drive. By 1932, BMW was only 16 years old, yet it had already lived many lives. It began in the sky. It nearly died after war. It survived with motorcycles. It entered the car world carefully and patiently. BMW was still small, still learning, still fragile, but the foundation was there. The story of BMW cars had only just begun. In the early 1930s, Germany was changing fast. The country was struggling after years of economic trouble. Many people were angry and afraid. In 1933, a new government came to power under Adolf Hitler. This government focused strongly on rebuilding the military. For BMW, this change would bring growth, and later, great destruction. BMW finds its true car identity. In 1933, BMW introduced a very important car, the BMW 303. This car was special for two big reasons. First, it was BMW's first car with a six-cylinder engine. The engine was smooth and powerful compared to small cars BMW had made before. Second, it introduced a new front design, two narrow openings in the grille. These would later become famous as the kidney grille, a design still used on BMW cars today. With the 303, BMW started to move away from cheap, simple cars. The company wanted to build cars that felt sporty and well-engineered. People began to notice. During the mid-1930s, BMW released several new cars. Each one was a little better, faster, and more refined than the last. The most famous of these was the BMW 328, introduced in 1936. The 328 was a light sports car. It had excellent handling and a strong engine. It was not just beautiful, it was fast. BMW entered the 328 into races across Europe. The car won many events, including long-distance races and hill climbs. Racing helped BMW build a new image. BMW was no longer just a motorcycle company or a small car maker. It was becoming known as a brand for driving pleasure. While BMW cars were improving, Germany was moving closer to war. The government pushed companies to support military goals. Factories were expanded. Production was directed toward weapons and engines. BMW's history with aircraft engines became important again. By the late 1930s, BMW was once more producing engines for airplanes, this time for war. When World War II began in 1939, BMW's car production slowly stopped. Civilian cars were no longer a priority. The company focused almost completely on military production. BMW factories produced aircraft engines, motorcycle engines for the army. Military motorcycles. These engines were powerful and advanced. BMW became one of Germany's key engine suppliers during the war. But this success came at a terrible human cost. As the war continued, many German workers were sent to fight. Factories did not have enough labor. To solve this, the Nazi government forced people from occupied countries to work in German factories. BMW used forced labor. Thousands of men and women were brought to BMW factories against their will. They worked long hours in dangerous conditions. They were poorly fed and treated harshly. This is one of the darkest chapters in BMW's history. Decades later, BMW officially admitted its role and took responsibility. The company paid compensation and publicly acknowledged the suffering caused. As the war went on, Allied forces began bombing German cities. Munich, where BMW's main factories were located, was heavily attacked. Bombs destroyed buildings, machines, and roads. BMW factories were hit again and again. By 1945, much of BMW's production capacity was in ruins. The war that once brought BMW growth now brought near total destruction. In 1945, World War II ended. Germany was defeated. Cities lay in ruins. The economy was broken. For BMW, the situation was desperate. Its factories were destroyed or damaged. It was banned from making aircraft engines. It was banned from producing motorcycles. It had no car production. BMW was not allowed to build engines at all. At this moment, BMW existed only in name. Many believed the company would disappear forever. After the war, BMW had almost nothing to sell. To survive, it made simple items such as pots and pans, bicycles, small tools. These products had nothing to do with cars or engines, but they kept the company alive, day by day. BMW had fallen from building racing cars and aircraft engines to making kitchen equipment. It was a painful fall. By 1945, BMW's early success was gone. Its factories were destroyed. Its reputation was damaged by war involvement. Its future was completely uncertain. But BMW was still alive. Just like after World War I, the company faced a moment where it had to change or die. The war years had shaped BMW deeply. They left scars that would never fully fade. Yet, hidden inside the ruins, there was still knowledge, experience, and a belief in engineering. When World War II ended in 1945, Germany was broken. Cities were destroyed. Factories were silent. People struggled to find food, work, and hope. For BMW, this was the lowest point in its history. The company had no engines, no cars, no motorcycles, and almost no future. A company under control. After the war, Germany was controlled by the Allied forces. They set strict rules on what German companies could do. BMW was not allowed to build engines or vehicles. Its main factory in Munich was badly damaged. Another factory in Eisenach was now in East Germany and taken over by the Soviet government. BMW lost control of it completely. For a time, BMW was only a name with no real business. To stay alive, BMW did whatever it could. The company began making simple products such as cooking pots, pans, bicycles, farm tools. These products were not glamorous, but they helped BMW pay workers and keep the lights on. It was a hard and humbling time. In 1948, BMW was finally allowed to build engines again. The company moved fast. That same year, BMW introduced the BMW R24 motorcycle. The R24 was simple, strong, and reliable. Germany needed cheap transportation, and motorcycles were perfect. Roads were poor, cars were too expensive. The R24 sold very well. Once again, motorcycles saved BMW, just as they had after World War I. By the early 1950s, BMW motorcycles were popular across Germany and beyond. BMW wanted to return to car production too. In 1952, the company introduced a large luxury car, the BMW 501. This car was elegant and comfortable. It was aimed at rich buyers and government officials. But there was a problem. The car was expensive to build and expensive to buy. Germany was still poor. Very few people could afford such a car. BMW lost money on every 501 it sold. Still, the company believed luxury cars were important for its image. By the mid-1950s, BMW had a serious problem. It made expensive luxury cars that sold poorly, motorcycles that sold well but made little profit. BMW did not have a strong product in the middle, a car for regular people. Meanwhile, other companies like Volkswagen were selling simple, cheap cars in huge numbers. BMW was falling behind again. In 1955, BMW tried something new. It introduced a very small car called the BMW Isetta. The Isetta looked strange. It had a single door at the front, a tiny engine room for only 2 people. Some people laughed at it, but many people loved it. The Isetta was cheap, easy to drive, and used little fuel. It was perfect for crowded cities and tight budgets. The car sold extremely well. The Isetta did not make BMW rich, but it saved the company from immediate collapse. Even with motorcycle sales and the Isetta, BMW was still in trouble. By 1959, the company was losing money badly. Debts were growing. Many believed BMW could not survive alone. That year, a rival company, Daimler-Benz, offered to buy BMW. This would have ended BMW as an independent brand. Many workers were angry. Shareholders were divided. The future of BMW was decided in one dramatic meeting. At the last moment, a group of investors stepped in. One of them was Herbert Quandt. Quandt believed BMW still had a future. He invested money, restructured the company, and stopped the takeover. BMW survived, but only just. After escaping collapse, BMW's leaders made an important decision. They would stop trying to be everything. BMW would no longer focus on cheap micro cars, heavy luxury cars only. Instead, they would build modern, sporty cars, comfortable but fun to drive. Cars for the growing middle class. This idea would soon change everything. By 1961, BMW was stable again, but still weak. It had survived war, loss, and near bankruptcy. The hard lessons were clear. BMW must be different. BMW must focus on driving quality. BMW must build cars people want, not just cars it can build. The stage was now set for BMW's greatest transformation. By the early 1960s, BMW was alive, but just barely. The company had survived war, destruction, and near bankruptcy. But survival was not enough. BMW needed a clear purpose. It needed a reason to exist in a world where other car companies were bigger, richer, and more powerful. BMW's leaders knew one thing for sure. If they failed again, there would be no second rescue. Germany in the early 1960s was very different from the Germany of the 1940s and 1950s. The economy was growing fast. This period was later called the economic miracle. Factories were busy, families had jobs, people had money again. A new middle class was forming. These people wanted cars that were practical for daily life, comfortable for families, but also modern and enjoyable. They did not want boring cars. They wanted something better. BMW saw an opportunity. BMW made a brave decision. The company would build an entirely new type of car, something it had never done before. This car would be a modern 4-door sedan, sporty, not slow, well-engineered, not cheap, affordable for professionals, not only the rich. This project was called Neue Klasse, the new class. If it failed, BMW would likely disappear forever. In 1961, BMW showed the world a new car at the Frankfurt Motor Show. It was called the BMW 1500. People were surprised. The car looked clean and modern. It had sharp lines, large windows, and a strong stance on the road. It did not look like an old luxury car. It did not look like a cheap economy car either. It looked confident. Under the hood was something even more important: a brand new engine. This engine was designed to be smooth, powerful, reliable, easy to improve in the future. BMW engineers were thinking long-term. When journalists and customers drove the BMW 1500, they noticed something special. The car felt alive. It handled corners better than most family cars. The steering was precise. The suspension felt balanced. The engine liked to rever. This was not normal in the early 1960s. Most sedans were built only for comfort. BMW added something extra: enjoyment. Without using big words or slogans, BMW had discovered its future. Cars should be practical and fun to drive. The BMW 1500 was supposed to sell in small numbers. Instead, orders flooded in. BMW did not have enough factory space. Customers waited months, sometimes over a year, for delivery. For the first time in its history, BMW had more demand than supply. The new class was a success. Most importantly, it made money. BMW was finally stable. BMW did not stop with one car. Soon the company introduced BMW 1600, BMW 1800, BMW 2000. Each version offered more power, more comfort, and more choice. There were also sporty versions like the 1800 Ti, which was faster and aimed at driving enthusiasts. BMW had found the perfect balance. Not too big, not too small, not boring. BMW also returned to racing in the 1960s. Modified new class cars competed in touring car races across Europe. They were fast, tough, and reliable. BMW cars began winning again. Racing success helped build BMW's reputation, not just as a car maker, but as a performance brand. People began to connect BMW with sportiness. The new class also created a new type of BMW buyer. These were engineers, doctors, business owners, young professionals. They wanted quality, but they also wanted excitement. BMW was no longer a struggling company making strange cars. It was becoming a brand with a clear identity. BMW did not yet use famous slogans, but the idea was already there. A BMW was a car for people who liked driving. This belief would guide everything BMW did next. By the late 1960s, BMW was strong again, but success created a new challenge. Customers wanted smaller, sporty cars, more body styles, clear model names. BMW needed to organize its growing lineup, and that decision would lead directly to some of the most famous BMW cars ever made. By the late 1960s, BMW was no longer fighting just to survive. For the first time, the company was confident. The new class cars had saved BMW. Money was coming in. The factories were busy. The brand had respect again. But BMW's leaders knew something important. If BMW wanted to grow, it needed smaller cars, not only four-door family sedans. Young drivers wanted something sporty, light, and exciting. BMW decided to take the next step. BMW engineers looked at the new class cars and asked a simple question: what if we make this car smaller, lighter, and sportier? The answer became the O2 series. These cars were based on the new class but had 2 doors instead of 4, shorter bodies, less weight, a more aggressive driving feel. They were built for people who loved driving. The first O2 series car appeared in 1966. It was called the BMW 1600-2, later known simply as the 1602. This car immediately felt different from most small cars of the time. It was quick for its size, well-balanced, fun on winding roads. Drivers smiled when they drove it. BMW was onto something big. In 1968, BMW introduced a car that would change its history forever: the BMW 2002. This car was simple, light, and powerful. It had a 2.0-liter engine that gave strong performance for its size. It did not rely on luxury or fancy features. It relied on engineering. The BMW 2002 could accelerate faster than many bigger cars, handle corners with confidence, be driven every day without problems. Journalists loved it. Drivers loved it even more. The BMW 2002 became especially popular in the United States. At that time, American cars were large and heavy. They focused on comfort, not handling. The 2002 felt completely different. It was small, sharp, and engaging. Car magazines in the US praised it again and again. They called it a driver's car. This was a turning point. BMW was no longer just a German brand. It was becoming an international performance name. In 1973, BMW pushed the idea even further. It introduced the BMW 2002 Turbo. This was one of the first turbocharged production cars in Europe. The car was extremely fast for its time. It was also aggressive in looks, with bold stripes and flared wheels. But the timing was bad. A global fuel crisis had begun. Fuel prices were rising. Powerful cars were suddenly unpopular. The 2002 Turbo sold in small numbers. Still, it showed something important. BMW was not afraid to innovate. At the same time, BMW was becoming very serious about racing. Touring car racing was growing across Europe. BMW entered modified versions of its sedans and coupes. These cars were fast, reliable, and tough. They won races. Racing was no longer just marketing. It was part of BMW's culture. In 1972, BMW made a historic move. It created a special division focused only on performance and racing. This division was called BMW Motorsport GmbH, later known simply as BMW M. Its job was clear: build racing cars, develop high-performance road cars, protect BMW's sporty identity. This was a bold decision. No other German car company was doing this at the same level. In the early 1970s, BMW began building a new headquarters in Munich. The building was tall and modern. Its design looked like 4 cylinders, a clear reference to an engine. Next to it, BMW built a museum to tell its story. This was more than architecture. It was a message. BMW was no longer struggling. BMW believed in its future. As BMW's lineup grew, the company realized something else. Its car names were confusing. So BMW introduced a new system that would define the brand for decades. Cars would be organized by series: small sporty cars, mid-size sedans, larger executive cars, each with clear numbers. This idea would soon lead to the most famous BMW names ever created. By the mid-1970s, BMW had a strong identity, loyal customers, racing success, global recognition. But the company was about to take another major step. It would replace old models with a completely new generation. These cars would carry names the world would never forget. By the early 1970s, BMW had changed completely. It was no longer a small company trying to survive. It was no longer copying others. BMW now knew who it was. The next step was to build a clear family of cars, each with its own role, but all sharing the same soul. In 1972, BMW introduced a brand new car to replace the old New Class sedans. This car was called the BMW 5 Series. The first generation was known internally as the E12. The idea was simple but powerful. The 5 Series would be a mid-size executive sedan, comfortable enough for long trips, sporty enough to enjoy every drive. It was built for managers, professionals, and people who drove a lot. Most executive cars in the early 1970s were soft and conservative. BMW did something different. The 5 Series had strong engines, rear-wheel drive, balanced handling, clear, confident styling. It felt alive in a way other sedans did not. Customers noticed immediately. The 5 Series became a success across Europe. With the 5 Series, BMW engineers focused heavily on balance. They worked on weight distribution, steering feel, suspension tuning. The goal was not extreme speed. The goal was control. This engineering philosophy would later become one of BMW's greatest strengths. In 1975, BMW introduced the car that would become its global icon, the BMW 3 Series. The first generation was called the E21. This car replaced the O2 series, including the famous BMW 2002. The pressure was huge. BMW needed to get this right. The first 3 Series was compact, sporty, well-built. It was designed mainly as a 2-door car at first. From the driver's seat, it felt sharp and responsive. The steering was direct. The engine responded quickly. It was not the cheapest car in its class, but it felt special. People bought it because they loved driving. The E21 introduced a design detail that became very important. The dashboard was slightly angled toward the driver. This was not common at the time. BMW was sending a message. This car is built for the driver. This idea would stay with BMW for decades. The 3 Series quickly became popular in many countries. In Europe, it was seen as a sporty premium car. In the United States, it was seen as something new, a small but serious driver's car. Sales grew year after year. The 3 Series became BMW's backbone. At the same time, BMW Motorsport was growing stronger. Originally focused on racing, it began to influence road cars more directly. High-performance versions of regular BMW sedans appeared. Cars like the BMW 530i and later the M535i showed that family cars could be fast and exciting. BMW was blending racing knowledge with everyday usability. In 1978, BMW did something unexpected. It built a true supercar, the BMW M1. This car was unlike anything BMW had ever made. It was mid-engined, low and wide, designed for racing. The M1 was created so BMW could compete at the highest level of motorsport. The M1 project was full of problems. Production was slow, costs were high, plans changed many times. In the end, only a small number of M1 cars were built. It was not a commercial success, but it was something else. It was a statement. The M1 proved that BMW could build an extreme performance car. It also helped BMW Motorsport develop engines and technology that would later appear in other M cars. Most importantly, it showed BMW's courage. BMW was willing to take risks to protect its identity. Formula racing success. During the late 1970s, BMW engines dominated Formula 2 racing. These engines were powerful, reliable, and well-designed. Racing success strengthened BMW's technical confidence. What worked on the track influenced what went into road cars. By the end of the 1970s, BMW had fully transformed. It now had the 3 Series, sporty and compact, the 5 Series, balanced and professional, a strong racing division, a clear focus on the driver. BMW was no longer asking what it should be. Without loud marketing, BMW had defined itself. A BMW was rear-wheel drive, balanced engine focused, built for people who enjoy driving. This idea would guide BMW into the future. Between 1962 and 1980, BMW was reborn. The new class saved the company. The O2 series made it famous. The 3 Series and 5 Series made it strong. BMW M gave it a racing soul. BMW had finally become BMW. By 1980, BMW was no longer rebuilding. It was ready to dominate. The hard lessons of the past were now strength. BMW knew how to survive crises, how to design great cars, and how to stay true to its identity. The world was about to discover BMW in a big way. The 1980s were a time of change. Technology was moving fast. Computers were entering daily life. People traveled more. Cities grew. Roads filled with cars. Customers wanted better performance, better comfort, better safety, strong brands. BMW was perfectly positioned. In 1982, BMW introduced the second generation of the 3 Series. This car was called the E30. It would become one of the most important BMWs ever made. The E30 looked clean and sharp. It was modern but not flashy. It still felt like a driver's car. BMW expanded the lineup quickly. The E30 came as 2-door, 4-door convertible touring wagon later on. This was new for BMW. BMW did something very smart. It offered many engine choices. Small engines for daily driving, strong 6-cylinder engines for enthusiasts. This meant many people could afford a BMW without BMW becoming cheap. The E30 sold extremely well. In many countries, it became a status symbol. Driving a BMW now meant success. In 1986, BMW Motorsport created a car that would define performance sedans forever, the BMW M3. At first, it was not built for normal customers. It was built for racing. BMW needed a car that could compete in touring car championships. Rules required the race car to be based on a road car, so BMW built the M3. The E30 M3 looked different. Wider body, big rear wing, aggressive stance. Under the hood was a high-revving 4-cylinder engine designed for racing. The car was loud, sharp, and demanding. It was not comfortable. It was perfect. The BMW M3 destroyed its competition. It won European Touring Car Championship DTM in Germany. Races across the world. No other touring car was as successful. This racing success made the M3 legendary. It also changed BMW forever. After the M3, the letter M meant something special. It stood for Motorsport Maximum Performance. Machines built for drivers. BMW M cars were no longer side projects. They were central to the brand. BMW also strengthened its position higher up. The E28 5 Series continued the sporty executive idea. Then in 1988, BMW introduced the E34 5 Series. This car was more solid, more luxurious. Still sporty, BMW was now competing directly with top luxury brands and winning customers. In the mid-1980s, BMW M took another bold step. It built the BMW M5. This was a quiet sedan with a racing engine. From the outside, it looked normal. Under the hood, it was a monster. The M5 proved something new. A family sedan could outperform sports cars. This idea shocked the industry. During the 1980s, BMW expanded worldwide. Factories, dealers, and offices opened in North America, Asia, Australia. BMW invested heavily in the United States. American customers loved BMW's mix of performance and quality. BMW was no longer a European brand. It was global. One reason BMW succeeded was design. BMW cars looked different from others, but consistent with each other. You could recognize a BMW immediately. Kidney grille, long hood, short rear driver, focused interior. This visual identity built trust. BMW adopted new technology carefully. It added electronic fuel injection, better safety systems, improved transmissions, but it never forgot driving feel. Steering, balance, and engine response always came first. The meaning of success. By the end of the 1980s, BMW had achieved something rare. It grew bigger without losing its soul. Many companies fail at this. BMW did not. As the 1990s began, BMW faced a new kind of challenge. BMW was successful. BMW was respected. BMW was profitable. But now it was big. And history had shown something dangerous. Many car companies lose their identity when they grow too fast. BMW had to prove it was different. The Cold War ended. Europe changed. Global trade increased. Technology moved faster than ever. Car buyers in the 1990s wanted more safety, more comfort, better technology. Still, performance BMW had to evolve carefully. In 1990, BMW introduced a new generation of its most important car, the E36 3 Series. This car was very different from the older E30. It was larger, smoother, more refined. Some fans were nervous. Was BMW becoming soft? When people drove the E36, doubts disappeared. Yes, it was more comfortable. Yes, it was more modern. But it still had excellent balance, had precise steering, loved to be driven hard. BMW had managed to improve comfort without killing the fun. That was not easy. BMW expanded the E36 lineup more than ever before. It came as sedan coupe convertible touring, wagon, compact, a smaller version. This made the 3 Series attractive to many different buyers. The 3 Series became BMW's global bestseller. BMW M also evolved. The E36 M3 was very different from the raw E30 M3. It was faster, smoother, more comfortable. Instead of a high-revving 4-cylinder engine, it used a powerful 6-cylinder engine. Some purists complained, but many customers loved it. The E36 M3 was easier to live with every day, and still thrilling. BMW M was learning how to mix performance and comfort. In 1995, BMW introduced what many consider the best 5 Series ever made, the E39 5 Series. This car became legendary. It had beautiful, timeless design, excellent build quality, perfect balance between comfort and sport. Even today, many people call it one of the best sedans ever built. The E39 introduced more technology, advanced safety systems, better electronics, aluminum suspension parts. But BMW tuned everything around the driver. Nothing felt artificial. Everything felt connected. In 1998, BMW M created something extraordinary. The BMW M5 E39. It had a naturally aspirated V8 engine with nearly 400 horsepower. This was shocking at the time. It could carry 5 people comfortably, outrun sports cars, drive across countries at high speed. Quiet luxury, explosive performance. Many consider it the greatest M car ever made. Another huge step came in the 1990s. BMW decided to build cars in the United States. A factory was opened in Spartanburg, South Carolina. This was a bold move. Some people doubted it would work, but it did. American-built BMWs met the same quality standards as German ones. This move helped BMW grow in North America and beyond. In the mid-1990s, BMW introduced something different, the BMW Z3 Roadster. This car was about emotion, style, and fun. It was small, open-top, sporty. It appeared in movies, magazines, and pop culture. The Z3 showed BMW could build lifestyle cars, not just sedans. During the 1990s, BMW also made big business moves. It acquired Mini and Rolls-Royce brand rights, later finalized. BMW wanted to grow, but in a controlled way. These brands would later play important roles. By the late 1990s, SUVs were becoming popular. Many luxury brands were unsure what to do. BMW faced a difficult question. Could an SUV still feel like a BMW? The answer would come very soon. By the late 1990s, BMW had perfected the modern sports sedan, expanded globally, balanced comfort with driving pleasure, prepared for new segments. But one final step remained before the new century. BMW was about to enter territory it had never touched before. By the late 1990s, BMW was one of the most respected car brands in the world. But success created a new danger. The car world was changing again, and fast. If BMW did not move forward, it could fall behind. In the late 1990s, customers around the world started buying a new type of vehicle, SUVs. These vehicles were tall, heavy, practical, seen as safe and powerful. In the United States especially, SUVs were becoming extremely popular. BMW faced a hard question. Should a brand built on driving pleasure build an SUV? Many inside BMW said no. SUVs were heavy. They were not sporty. They were not BMW-like. But ignoring the trend could be fatal. BMW decided to take the risk. But it would not build a normal SUV. BMW engineers said, "If we do this, it must drive like a BMW." The project began quietly. In 1999, BMW introduced its first SUV, the BMW X5 E53. BMW did not even call it an SUV. It called it a sports activity vehicle. This name was important. BMW wanted to make clear, this was not a truck. This was not a slow family hauler. This was still a driver's car. The X5 surprised many people. It was tall and strong, but steering was sharp. Handling was stable. Engines were powerful. It felt more like a sporty sedan than an off-road truck. BMW focused on road performance, comfort, quality, not extreme off-road ability, and customers loved it. The X5 was built at BMW's factory in Spartanburg, South Carolina. This was strategic. SUV demand was highest in the US. Producing the X5 locally made sense. The factory quickly became one of BMW's most important production centers. At first, some BMW fans were angry. They said, BMW has sold its soul. This is not what BMW should make. But sales told a different story. The X5 sold extremely well. It brought new customers to the brand. Many of those customers later bought BMW sedans and coupes. The X5 helped BMW grow without killing its identity. By the year 2000, BMW was in an incredible position. It had the world's most respected sports sedans, legendary M cars, a successful SUV, global factories, strong finances. BMW was no longer reacting to the market, it was shaping it. Looking back from 2000, BMW's journey was remarkable. It had survived 2 world wars, faced near bankruptcy, rebuilt itself multiple times. Each crisis had made BMW sharper. BMW learned, focus matters, identity matters, driving feel matters. These lessons would guide BMW into the new century. As the 20th century ended, new challenges were already appearing. Environmental concerns, electronics and software, new competitors. Changing customer expectations. BMW would soon face electric cars, digital design, and radical new ideas. But it faced the future with confidence. It had done the impossible before. From 1980 to 2000, BMW became a global power. The E30 and M3 made it legendary. The E39 and M5 perfected the sports sedan. The Z3 added emotion. The X5 opened a new world. BMW entered the 21st century not as a survivor, but as a leader.